skyscrapers rising from empty lots, billion-dollar plans reshaping forgotten neighborhoods, entire communities built for a new kind of future, quietly unfolding across America right now. These aren't concepts or renderings, they're real, and they're changing everything you think you know about housing in 2025. From desert cities preparing for climate collapse to historical districts reclaiming their soul, these 8 projects could define the next decade of American living. But why now? Why these cities? And what's really at stake? Let's unravel the plans. But before we start, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We're pulling back the curtain, and you won't want to miss what's coming next. Now let's dive in. Let's start in Austin, Texas, where the Mueller affordable housing expansion is making headlines in 2025. Originally developed on the site of the former Robert Mueller Municipal Airport, this master-planned community has become a national model for mixed-income urban living. This year, the city approved the addition of over 1,200 new affordable units, a critical move given Austin's skyrocketing home prices, up 34% since 2020. The expansion aims to combat displacement in East Austin, where historically marginalized communities have been pushed out by gentrification. The new housing includes everything from townhomes to apartment complexes, all integrated into walkable, transit-friendly neighborhoods. What sets this project apart is its commitment to income diversity. 25% of all homes are reserved for low to moderate income families. By weaving affordability into a vibrant, amenity-rich community, the Mueller Project is helping Austin maintain economic diversity and keep families rooted in the city they call home. In West Oakland, the Mandela Station project is reshaping one of the Bay Area's most historically underserved neighborhoods. Positioned at a major BART station, this $700 million transit-oriented development includes 760 housing units, 240 of which are affordable. With Oakland's median home prices still hovering around $800,000, this initiative is vital. The neighborhood has faced decades of redlining, industrial pollution, and displacement. Mandela Station addresses this with sustainability-first design, job training programs, and a community land trust to preserve affordability long-term. Importantly, it integrates local art, cultural history, and Black-owned retail space, acknowledging the area's roots. The project is expected to reduce car dependency by 30% due to its proximity to transit and walkability. By focusing on density, equity, and economic opportunity, Mandela Station is more than housing. It's a model for community-centered urban renewal in one of America's most expensive and historically divided regions. Downtown Atlanta is undergoing a transformation, and at the heart of it is Centennial Yards, a $5 billion mega project reclaiming 50 acres of parking lots and rail yards. In 2025, its residential phase brings 1,000 new housing units, with 20% set aside as affordable. Atlanta's housing crisis has intensified, with rents rising over 40% since 2019, pricing out many longtime residents. Centennial Yards is reversing urban blight by reactivating dead space with mixed-income housing, green space, and retail. It also connects previously disconnected parts of downtown, most notably by bridging over the Gulch, a deep cut in the cityscape that physically divided neighborhoods. The project also benefits from proximity to MARTA, Atlanta's public transit system, making it attractive to car-free residents. By balancing upscale development with affordability and connectivity, Centennial Yards is helping redefine what inclusive urban redevelopment can look like in a rapidly growing southern city. Detroit's Joe Louis Greenway Housing Initiative is one of the most ambitious equity-focused plans of 2025. As the 27.5-mile biking and walking loop nears completion, the city has paired it with the creation of 800 new housing units, more than half affordable, spread along key Greenway corridors. This is a response to Detroit's dual crisis, a glut of vacant land and rising rents in popular areas. The Greenway cuts through 23 neighborhoods, many of which have seen decades of disinvestment. The housing initiative ensures that revitalization doesn't lead to displacement. The homes are built to high energy efficiency standards, lowering monthly costs for residents. Importantly, the city used a community-driven planning model, engaging over 5,000 residents during design. The Greenway Housing Initiative will help reconnect neighborhoods physically and economically, transforming Detroit from a city of isolation to one of inclusion. It's urban planning as reparative justice, driven by the people it serves. Before we dive into the next city, I want to hear from you. Which of these projects would you want to live in or avoid completely? Are cities doing enough to solve housing inequality, or is it all just dressed-up gentrification? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every one, and your input shapes what we cover next. If there's a hidden housing gem in your city or a development no one's talking about yet, tell me. I might feature it. While you're here, hit like if you haven't already and subscribe so you never miss an episode. We've got some wild under-the-radar stories coming up. In 2025, Phoenix is tackling its housing emergency, driven by extreme population growth and record heat, with the Hohokam Housing Collective, a 600-unit desert adaptive development in the city's Maryvale district. This project directly addresses the dual challenges of affordability and climate. With daytime summer temperatures now reaching 115 degrees Fahrenheit regularly, the Hohokam Collective uses passive cooling design, solar arrays, and shaded community courtyards to reduce energy costs by 40%. About 300 units are reserved for low to moderate income residents, helping a city where average rents have surged by 52% since 2017. It's one of the first large-scale projects to use Adobe-inspired materials and graywater recycling in Arizona, blending indigenous design principles with modern engineering. Located near light rail expansion zones and job centers, it offers not only housing but stability. Phoenix is often seen as a warning for climate vulnerability. The Hohokam Collective shows it can also be a blueprint for adaptation and resilience. Chicago's Invest Southwest initiative continues strong in 2025, focusing this year on North Lawndale and Englewood, two neighborhoods deeply affected by depopulation and disinvestment. Through public-private partnerships, the city is supporting the construction of over 900 new housing units, many on formerly vacant lots. Nearly 70% of these homes are affordable, tailored for incomes between 30–80% of area median income. Chicago lost over 200,000 black residents from 1980 to 2020, largely due to lack of housing and opportunity. This program aims to reverse that trend, not just by building homes, but by anchoring them with grocery stores, job training centers, and local art hubs. Each project is community designed, featuring town halls and participatory budgeting. The city has committed over $1.4 billion to Invest Southwest since 2020, and the housing portion is now its most visible success. It's not just a real estate project, it's a reparative strategy for equity. In 2025, Seattle's biggest leap in housing equity comes from the Northgate Equitable Housing Hub, a development of 1,100 units, with 45% designated as affordable. Located next to the Northgate Light Rail Station, it's a cornerstone of Seattle's push for transit-oriented density. With home prices still averaging around $850,000, the need is urgent. What makes this project stand out is its integration of social services, on-site childcare, mental health clinics, and rent-to-own options for long-term tenants. The project also includes a green roof park open to the public, reducing urban heat island effects by nearly 15 degrees Fahrenheit in summer months. This is a direct response to Seattle's rising inequality and homelessness, with more than 14,000 unhoused individuals counted last year. The Northgate Hub blends progressive urban design with holistic care for residents, setting a new standard for livability and inclusion in high-cost West Coast cities. In Miami, the Liberty Square Redevelopment Phase 3 is redefining public housing for the 21st century. Originally built in the 1930s as Florida's first public housing project for African Americans, Liberty Square had long suffered from neglect. Now, in 2025, the third phase of redevelopment brings 650 new units, mixing affordable workforce and market-rate housing. Over 75% of residents from earlier phases have returned, a rare success in public housing redevelopment. The project's Build First model ensures no one is displaced during construction. Miami's median rent is now over $2,500, and Liberty Square offers critical affordability in the heart of the city. With hurricane-resistant construction, stormwater gardens, and community policing programs, it's also built for resilience. Job programs and youth training are embedded in the redevelopment plan. Liberty Square isn't just a housing project, it's a symbol of repair, preserving cultural legacy while opening doors to future opportunity in a city deeply shaped by inequality. Across deserts, coastlines, and city cores, the blueprint for America's housing future is being laid brick by brick. Some of it's inspiring, some of it's controversial, all of it matters. These 8 projects aren't just about buildings, they're about who gets to belong, who gets left out, and how cities choose to write their next chapter. If this video gave you a new way to think about housing in America, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. We're just getting started. And trust me, what's coming next will make today's projects look tame. See you in the next one.